Yo, yo, yo. Alive You Church. What are you doing?
YouTube video.
Where's the chapstick?
What is that video?
It's one of our sponsors. Shout out to the Where's the Chapstick gal, featured on YouTube. You're a drummer. I thought you'd like it.
I did. It got me bobbing my head. That's an interesting intro.
I have not seen that video in many years, and I don't know if I can recommend it or not. I think it's appropriate, and it's just.
It sounded like she was beatboxing elevator music.
I think it's just funny old school video on YouTube. One of the first YouTubes, but anyway.
Chapstick.
Oh, my bad. I'm tired this morning.
Allegedly a sponsor.
I'm tired this morning.
What's up? AYC Podcast. I'm Carson.
And I'm Jonathan.
And we talk about stuff, and it's fun. That's pretty much what a podcast is, I think.
I think you didn't just define our podcast, you defined podcast.
Right. And then do you want now what's our podcast?
I can't undefinable.
Undefinable.
Yeah. We are a part of the Alive Youth Church, which is the youth ministry of West Salem Foursquare Church. I say as if we have listeners not already affiliated with us. But anyway, the purpose of this is to just kind of recap, reconnect, and inform and invite kind of what's happening within our ministry and just opportunity to connect throughout midweek beyond just Sundays. So, where's the chapstick? How you doing?
Good.
Well, all right. Well, hey, thanks for tuning in. That was this week's podcast.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest. I didn't ask you how you're doing because I actually wanted to know how you're doing. I was waiting for the follow-up question because I wanted you to ask me how I was doing.
Well,
I wanted to talk about me.
Well, because you're drinking coffee.
Oh, I'm
so
tired.
Are you tired or
yeah. Well, hey, since you asked.
Segue.
No, I'm doing great. We was late night last night. Went with a few of our friends. You know them, Andrew, Barry, Preston Rivera. Both have been on the pod before.
That's right.
And then our friend Josh Phelan. And we drove to Seattle for a Mariners game. First pitch was at 6:40. Wow. And we did a quick turnaround, watched the game, and came back. And
Bada bing.
It was a blast. Had a really good time.
That's cool.
Caught a few other buddies that were up in the Seattle area and was able to say hi to them. And it was a good time.
Did you get that hat there?
I bought a new hat.
Looks good on you.
I'm hat guy because I'm insecure about hair guy. So hats.
His hair looks great. I swear, like, all jokes aside, I think it's actually getting thicker. 100%. Every time I see it, I'm like, dang it. He's coming back, and I'm fading away.
Shout out hats.
Hatties. All-Star game.
Here's a question.
What?
We're road tripping, so on the way back,
that's like a 4-hour drive, right?
Yeah, it's about 1 a.m. Had to pull over to fuel up, and I have this thing. We pulled in at a charging station. We were in a Tesla.
Hey.
Shout out Tesla. They're one of our sponsors.
Allegedly.
And we get to this charging station affiliated with a gas station to go in, and I just feel obligated to get road trip snacks. It's 1 a.m. And I feel like we're here. I have to get a Slurpee. I have to get whatever. Like,
yeah, 100%.
You're that way too? Or
100%.
You're a road trip snack guy.
Yeah, if we're stopping anywhere, my left hand has a drink in it.
Yeah.
And my right hand has like a bag of chips or peach rings. I love peach rings.
Really?
Peach rings are so good.
Is that a top? Like, that's your number one, like, road trip snack?
I'd say it's in my top 5, but it's not my number one. It's my mom's favorite candy, though.
No, because that was my next follow-up question. What's your mom's favorite candy? That's really.
That's why I like them so much.
Give me your top 5.
That's what my mom would buy when we were growing up. Like, for road trip snacks, she'd always buy. That was her road trip snack, so we'd steal snacks from her. My top 5 road trip snacks?
Yeah.
Do we want to go 5 to 1?
I prefer to go 5 to 1.
5 to 1?
I haven't even actually given this much thought, though. I don't know if I can.
Me neither. 5 to 1. Okay. Think. And
Wait,
3.
As you're thinking,
2.
I'm going to say this. My list will probably be just a collaboration of my 5 favorites. I don't know if I'll have them fully ranked. I haven't given this thought, and I take this very seriously.
Okay. I'll do the same then. I won't actually rank them like 5th place. I'll just, like, name off ones I like. 5. I am a maple bar donut kind of guy.
That's a road trip snack?
Well, when you stop at 7-Eleven, they have that little case that's like right in the middle of the store of donuts.
Okay, sure.
So I'll get myself either the maple bar or like the Simpson bar.
That's
the donut with the pink frosting on it.
All right. Oh, like a Simpson bar.
That's what I'm saying.
A Simpson donut.
A Simpson donut.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not that didn't come to my mind as a donut as a road trip snack. But that's fine. I get that. I'm going to go combos. You know what combos are?
Are those like the weird pizza pretzel?
You don't have to say weird. You don't have to say weird. It is a pizza pretzel thingy. Yes, it's got the pizza flavor. It's got like cheddar in it. I think that's
Is it good?
I like them. Yeah, I'm a sucker for fake cheese. I think it's good. Yes.
I'll have to try one of those. I've seen those.
That's in my top 5 would be combos.
Combos. I'm gonna have to try that. Okay, number 4 for me is probably just like a plain old bag of pretzels.
Are you pretzel thins, pretzel sticks, pretzel rods, traditional pretzel
either
nugs,
the sticks
sourdough,
or the traditional?
Yeah, I'm a pretzel thins. I like pretzel thins.
Pretzel thins.
Yeah,
those are good.
I'll give that. Oh man, no, I won't put that in my top 5 because I already have combos and that's a pretzel. I'll go Twix, like a candy bar. Twix candy bar.
Twix candy bar.
Mm-hmm. That or the cookies and cream candy bar.
Ooh,
or 100 grand. I'm gonna go candy bar.
Candy bar.
Just candy bar.
Just candy bar. Number 3. Oh my gosh. Ooh, like a bag of jerky or a Slim Jim.
Okay, so then I'm not in your car.
Oh, it smells.
Yeah, I'm not in your car.
But I also drive with my AC on and all my windows down, and it makes all of my friends very angry at me.
Yeah. Because I agree. I do like beef jerky. I love that. But the smell and what it does for the other people in the car, as well as the following hours, like with the burps and I just can't.
Do you want to hear a funny, just fast story?
Sure.
On my way on the plane back from Disneyland, I sat next to Grant. He's one of my buddies. Yeah. He's like 6'4", 6'5", big guy. So he's kind of crammed, obviously, in the plane seat next to me. And I pull a beef jerky bag out of my backpack on the plane. He got so mad when I opened it. It was so funny.
I would too. I would have started a riot within the people around me.
It was so funny. He was actually legitimately like,
yeah.
Why would you open that? Why would you eat that in a plane? It was hilarious. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, pass.
Anyways, yeah, I love beef jerky, but it does. It stank.
Okay, another one. I'm gonna go with like some sort of a gummy, like whether it's the crawlers, like gummy bears, gummy worms. I don't like Peachos though. Actually, I don't like sour apple, but like
I don't like sour apple stuff.
Yeah, that's me.
So like gummy worms, gummy bears, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Number
2 for me. I'll put peach rings at number 2.
Yeah. That means we're gonna get in.
Oh yeah. No, I have my number 1.
Okay, I'm looking forward to your number 1 because you were passionate about the Peachos.
Yeah.
All right, another top 5 for me. I'm gonna go with like a bag of chips. So, I really like Funyuns. Like other.
Funyuns just slept on.
Yeah, and I don't eat Funyuns. Like, but for some reason, like when I'm at a gas station on a road trip, it's like do you have the Funyuns? Like it's an essential. Like seatbelts and Funyuns. Like you need those. I don't know why.
Amen.
So.
Mine's a bag of chips as well. My number 1.
Oh, I know your number 1. You've talked about this before. I don't know if it's on the pod, but you and I have talked about this before.
Doritos.
You're a classic Dorito guy.
I love Doritos.
Yep.
Other than Cool Ranch.
Yeah. Okay, my number 1 or one of my tops would be an energy bar of some sort. So different from a candy bar.
An energy bar?
Yeah, or like, you know what I mean, a meal bar, like a meal replacement bar type thing, like the One or actually I
like
eat my
the Power Bar?
Yeah, or my kids that eat like things like that.
Cliff Bar.
Yeah, because so here's my philosophy, and we'll get off the road trip topic because it's riveting, I know. But like, I don't drink a lot on a road trip.
Okay.
I don't want to make very many stops, and so if it's a meal replacement, that's great because I don't have to stop. Like, and if you are gonna stop, you do everything there. You use the restroom, you get your food,
you
wash your windows, you gas up, let's go, and it's quick and let's move. Like
one-stop shop.
The journey is the destination. I don't think so. Do you know what the destination is?
The destination?
The destination.
Disneyland is my destination.
Always.
It's the best.
So anyway, that was our road trip. Got in at 2:30 a.m. Oh, and by the way, just what I did end up buying, I did 12:31 a.m. I bought a Twix candy bar.
Mm-hmm.
And have you seen the Nerd Ropes? But they're in bite-sized Nerd
yes.
Ropes. So that's what I ended up getting.
There you go.
Candy, went straight candy. So
well, I know on my little road trip that I'm taking this year on the way to summer camp, I'm going to be eating a bag of Doritos.
Oh, speaking of summer camp.
Summer camp?
How did that come up naturally and organically?
Whoa, that was strange.
It is a short trip, though, Aldersgate.
Yep. It's in, what is it? It's like
July
Turner?
Turner, Oregon, July 24th through 28th. We went there last year with so a little different this year for summer camp versus last year what we referred to as retreat. I think because of the days or whatever, but this year we're going summer camp, and it's July 24th through 28th. Same location, one additional day than last summer, and we are partnering with other churches and youth ministries within our area.
There's about to be a ton of us.
So it is. We're anticipating upwards to like a high number would be 400 total. I mean, that includes leaders.
It's gonna be fun
and everything. So we love camp. We don't mess around. We believe we go big with camp. And if you've been around our youth ministry, you know us. I've been here 12 years and I've done everything when it comes to camp, from being a student, like as a camper, to being on like a teen work crew leader, student leader. I've worked in the kitchen. I've done games. I've spoke. I've done almost everything at camp other than two things. I've never been like the nurse, and I haven't led worship yet.
Yet, keyword yet. I'll get you on there.
It could happen. Do you? Because what's your camp history? Have you done? I mean, I've never not had camp in the summer.
Yeah,
forever.
Camp's the best. I'm honestly trying to remember, like, how many camps I've gone to. Growing up, like when I was younger, like elementary school,
right? I
went to Canyon View every year.
Oh yeah, in Silverton.
Canyon View is so sick.
It's a day camp, right?
It is so much fun. Yeah, it's a day camp. And then if you're in middle school, I think they do it for middle schoolers. I'm not too sure, but I know for high schoolers, you can be a junior camp leader or whatever.
Right.
So you actually can go be a leader at the camp, and then you actually stay in the little bunks that they have there with all the other leaders.
Did you go as like affiliated with a church? Was this just like your parents signed you up with their organization?
I went with when I was little. We went to Calvary Chapel Church in Salem, kind of past Cordon Road, and I went with them every year for like 3 or 4 years.
And then what? So that's kids. What about middle school, high school? Because you got saved when you were in high school?
Sixth grade.
Okay, so middle school. And then was it like into church and youth group and into summer camps?
I went to youth group all of middle school. Mm-hmm. But at the moment, I don't remember if I ever really went to a summer camp in middle school.
Okay.
But fast forward to high school. Mm-hmm. I went to this one called Big Kahuna at a church I went to in high school called Dayspring, and it was my favorite camp ever, hands down so far, like that I went to that I went to as a student.
Yeah, totally.
It was my favorite one being a student because we loaded up on a bus in Kaiser and drove to Lake Shasta, California, like 7-hour bus ride.
Like beef jerky.
Yeah,
for 7 hours.
And peach rings and Doritos. And you made the joke earlier about the journey not being the destination, whatever. Yeah. It was actually so much fun.
Sure, yeah.
Like, because I'm not the one driving.
Yeah, you're bus with all your friends.
Yeah.
And like, totally.
16, 17 on a bus, hanging out, goofing around.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. But so we'd go to Lake Shasta and we'd stay on houseboats. So they would kind of group up like upperclassmen guys and then lowerclassmen guys on their own boat. And so there was red boat, blue boat, green boat, yellow boat, pink, and some other boat. So the girls would have their own boats, guys would have their own boats, and it was super fun because we'd also do competitions all week.
Right.
And we'd sleep on the roof of the houseboat in our sleeping bags. So everyone would wake up in the morning, and there was like 7-8 boats lined up next to each other. So there's like 100 and something kids sleeping on the roof of boats, and it was so much fun.
That's kind of scary to me.
It was awesome. Well, the houseboats are they're pretty big.
Sure.
So you're not rolling off.
You ever met a sleepwalker?
I have met a sleepwalker.
Like, what if it's like a sleep?
I hope they're a sleep swimmer.
Diver. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That would be scary.
Dude.
But you only did it if you were comfortable with it, because they had bunks and stuff.
Yeah.
Like actually in the houseboat.
I love that, like, when you share your memories of like camp, like that you say like my favorite was when I was a student, because I've grown enough, I'm old enough now that it actually is a distant memory to me. Like, and I do know the value of like when I was a student. I have these really pivotal moments of when I was a student at camp. But it's hard for me to remember overall stuff. You just kind of fades over. Just
Yeah.
Kind of, and for lack of a better word, like the camps I've done now as a leader and director and stuff have kind of replaced those memories. But I just still know this, like my favorite season of camp was when I was a student. Like when I was in middle school, like that was the pivotal moment of like how I experienced Jesus for the first time. Like, and I don't want to say first time, but in a new way. I think outside of the covering of my parents and the tradition of my parents. Like I grew up in faith and in the church, and we went to church as a family, but like now all of a sudden you're away with your friends, people like mine, a good like cabin leader, somebody like that, you know, no disrespect to moms and dads, but like, come on, like you're with a cool, like young adult person. Like I've said this for years, you know, it's like, I believe there's nobody cooler to a middle schooler than a high schooler. Yeah. There's nobody 100%. Cooler to a high schooler than like this young adult college age person.
Right.
Like they just,
100%.
They can't think that far down the road, like that I'm going to be a dad, I'm going to be a father someday, but they can see, oh, that's what I'm going to be when I'm in high school. Yeah. So when you get that type of environment where it's somebody you look up to, you want to be like, and they're your leader and they're showing you like what I would say like positive influence, or like obviously as Christian we use the word discipleship, like the Bible says, follow me as I follow Christ. Like that's just such a cool model. And in that environment where it's like, dude, we're having so much fun. There's little sleep had because it's just like goofiness, fun, late night games, a ton of late night caffeine, whatever, you know, like especially, you know, anyway, different.
Yeah.
Different.
All the Mountain Dews.
Come on. First day one camp is my favorite. Everybody's showing up, all a little bit of nerves, but like just so jacked and just excited.
Ready to go.
And like the first thing that happens in a cabin is immediately students start showing off what they brought for snacks.
Their snacks.
Cubes of Mountain Dew.
It's a road trip essential, but it is an even bigger camp essential.
My second favorite
What
day
are you eating?
Is actually my second, one of my, that night.
Yeah.
Most of those snacks are gone. They've eaten
They're
and
gone.
consumed, gone within hours. I mean, it's just like, dude, we got 4 nights here, bro. Like, anyway.
And your entire like stash of candy bars and oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of what else we would bring.
Oh, Pringles is always a popular one. Everybody always brings Pringles or the
Lunchables,
big jugs of cheese puffs.
Oh yeah. Like the big old $5 Walmart cheese balls.
Red Vine jugs.
Yep.
You get, how many Red Vines get eaten? 12? And then that's it. Like you just always have, there's always a Red Vine jug. I have one in my office right now. Anyway, we talk too much about snacks.
Love Red Vines.
Shout out Red Vines, one of our major sponsors. We want to say thank you for your support financially, as well as just the resource you are to youth ministry. Shout out Red Vines.
Allegedly.
Maybe it could happen. Speak it. Back to camp though.
Yeah.
So obviously, like
it was awesome. The houseboat thing was super.
The games, the competitions, the free time, the activities. I think that is so valuable, and I think we kind of like, in my history and experience as youth pastor, usually when we talk about camps and things like that, we highlight one of two things, and it's either like, you got to go to camp, it's so much fun, and we do color wars and color powder, and you have an opportunity to swim in the lake and float the river, and you know, you do all this like hype of the fun, like, and then it's like you show up, or there's like a side note of like, hey man, we have a really good time in worship, you know, it's just kind of like this side note. And I get it, what, you know, what attracts and this and that. Or it's the other side where you go like, you got to come, man. We just pressed into the Lord, and we're going to have a great time in cabin time reading a scripture together, and we're going to have a great worship session. You're going to want to hear from this pastor who's speaking this week. Again, I'm not downplaying that. Of course I exist. But like, why are those two things like, what did I just say? Of course I exist? Like, of course I believe in those existence.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say coexistence. Like, those aren't two separate things. I think those are what, like, that comes together. Like, we talked about this.
That mix is what makes camp.
Dude, we talked about this in our last podcast. Like, the reason our youth ministry is called Alive.
Yeah.
Philippians chapter 1, verse 25. I'm convinced that I remain alive so I can help others know and experience the joy of their faith. And that's what, like, dude, you want to, like, encompass and you want to visibly see and experience what joy of faith looks like, you go to a summer camp.
Well, and, like, for a lot of students, a lot of like students coming to church for the first time, like that's their intro to church. That's huge. Like that's really big. And that's what it was for me in 6th grade. Right. When I went to youth, it wasn't necessarily a camp. It was like more of a retreat thing. It was called TNT. It was
Dynamite.
I can't remember what it stood for, but it was like teenagers in testimonies or something like that.
Mm.
But anyways, we would go to a Portland Winterhawks game.
Yeah.
And after the Portland Winterhawks game, there was a conference room in the basement of the Moda Center,
Right.
which was called the Rose Garden at the
It's where
time.
the Blazers play. It's where concerts.
Yep,
Things going.
Blazers,
I'm
Winterhawks,
sure-
all that.
I'm sure
Justin Bieber's played there.
Drake has sold out. the what's it called now? The Moda Center. Dude, Drake, Taylor Swift, Hannah Montana. I don't know who are the big. She's still. I don't know who the singer is.
But we did that in the basement after the game. It was like this super big, like they had worship in the basement, and then there was games like this. It was like they went all out because it was a lot of churches. Like people were winning. Like someone won an Xbox, someone won an iPod Touch.
Let's go.
Like it was crazy. But that's where I had kind of heard a sermon that I like listened to, I guess, for the first time.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't sitting with my grandparents and my parents in a tie as a little kid. Like I was in basketball shorts and a Winterhawks jersey that I just bought with all the spending money that my mom gave me. Yeah. Like watching hockey for the first time. Yeah. Like hanging out with everybody. And his name was Kyle. He was the youth pastor at the time. Yeah. And
shout out Kyle.
And then did this like an altar call moment kind of thing. And then so
that was your encounter with Jesus.
Yeah.
Let's go.
In the basement of the Blazers stadium.
Yep. Yeah.
And it was super cool.
And it was because there you were in a, like we talk about this all the time, you were an intentional atmosphere. Like it was an atmosphere to make it easy for people to encounter the Holy Spirit, to encounter Jesus. That's what camp is. And like I was talking to Isaiah. He's one of my interns. Shout out Isaiah. I'm just kidding. He's not an intern, but shout out Isaiah. I was talking to him this morning, and hey, matter of fact, come here, Isaiah. And
everybody, welcome.
Just,
Isaiah Lovely.
Show yourself here.
Here he is. Hi. He's our camera guy.
Hey, wait.
Awesome.
Should I say something like inspiring?
No. So I was talking. I'm kidding. Just happened to be here. He and I were talking this morning about like structure of church and like specifically our youth ministry and stuff. And I was saying how like we want the whole time we're at youth group to be the message of Jesus. Yeah. Not just the speaking portion. Like, so when people come in, we want the atmosphere. They want to see how much fun we're having, how inclusive and welcoming. I'm so glad you're here. Like the conversations, the generosity of like, oh my gosh, can I, like last Sunday we had hot dogs, you know, it's like, it's maybe seems silly to some people. I don't know, but like, I want the message of Jesus to be seen and heard and experienced the entire time that people encounter, you know, us, both individual, but obviously on a Sunday night or at camp, like that they're here. So obviously the easy parts to that are worship, where you're singing songs, you're singing lyrics about gospel, about Jesus, who he is. The message, when you're reading Bible and talking about, those are the obvious ones. Right. But that's like people, we experience, we encounter Jesus, and I can't like emphasize enough how valuable a week away, like intentionally, like challenging people, like put your phone away. You know what I mean? Like I know people, for example, that have said like, I won't go to camp if I can't have my phone. Like, and I don't want to get into that right now because there are some anxieties and things associated with that. And there's also for sure, safety things, whatever. But I'll generalize it and say when we eliminate other distractions, the distractions of work, of home, of whatever it is, and school, you put yourself in an environment where you're going like, I'm here to be in an atmosphere of Jesus, like encountering Jesus. And when you get in that atmosphere, like you then return to that, what I would call normal life, whatever. And you have that new, I don't know, like,
I mean, it's just it's a fresh like refilling, really,
filling
first time of.
That's the word I was going to use.
Yeah, exactly.
The Holy Spirit that allows you to then continuously like go through life, you know. And so, I don't know, like I don't want to sound like a broken record, but man, I love our church because our church believes in summer camp for both the kids' church. You know, they're running the camp this year for through 5th graders.
So much fun.
And then we have our
seeing them
camp,
do that.
6th graders through seniors, and then the opportunities for adults to serve and lead, which is not just an opportunity, it's a need. Like, it's not like, and they'll have they'll experience it, they'll enjoy it. Leaders love it too. I know I emphasize like, oh, it's so fun as a student, but there's just such an encounter still as the leader too. And there's a need.
Ton of fun at retreat last year, and that was my first AYC camp retreat, and it was so much fun.
And you got to experience when you were in the Moda Center and things like that. Like, there are some students that come to camp, and the only reason they're there is because somebody financially, like, straight up paid for their way to go there. Like this is like, people don't just believe in camp. Oh, it's good to do it. They're going, this is how much we believe in it. We want to invest in financially. It's going to cost us something. But they're not seeing it as a donation. They're seeing it as an investment. We're investing into the souls and the eternity of these young people. And man, like, I'm so thankful of a generous church, a church body, a leadership in our church, the pastors who are leading the way to clear schedules and make it possible for us to have camp, and then get in that environment and seeing the faithfulness of God. He never disappoints in these environments. He never disappoints in any environment, but I just think specifically when it comes to camp. So
it's just an environment, I think, especially even my age, but especially being in high school and being in middle school, that like you just need, like, like, I don't want to be that guy that's like, these last few years have been hard, but I mean, people missed out on literally going to school and seeing people for 2 years. Yeah. And I don't feel like there's ever really going to be anything, for me, I'll just speak for myself, like, that will give me that back. Right. That 2 years back from the time I was 18 to 20. Yeah. Like, I missed out on a lot, and so did everybody else. So, like, the fact that we get to have camp again. Yeah. Like, even last year, but, like, now we're good to go. All in. Like, all in. Ready to have fun, ready to learn about Jesus, and all hang out, make friends. And like my favorite thing that you had said at the beginning of kind of this topic was like talking about how we just want people to feel welcome. Yeah. And like, because like I feel welcome at church and felt welcome at church, like in high school and middle school, but nothing made me feel more welcome than seeing a ton of people my age, a ton of people just running around, having fun, doing whatever, because the best way, I think, to experience Jesus and to come to Jesus is to feel welcome in the process. That's good. Because, and that's why I love, like you said, like our church and AYC so much, because we make it like a priority to go, I am glad you're here. Like, welcome to the, like, AYC, or like, what can I grab you a hot dog, or can I grab you a soda, or like, you want to go play basketball, whatever. Like this, that, and the other, whatever it is, like, it's all with the goal to make sure that you feel welcome and that in doing that, you experience Jesus with us all night long and anything and everything that we possibly can do. Yeah.
Cause I mean, we can go on about that, but we've been very blessed. God is so good to us, and I want others to know that. I want people to know how much God loves them. And my dad used to say this, and I think you can kind of wrap up with this. Like, it's hard enough to go through life without the Lord, it's hard enough to go navigate through life with the Lord. Imagine doing it without Him. You know what I mean? And I want. I'm not trying to be like negative. Like, once you come to the Lord, it's just impossible. It's not. God is faithful, and He knows our outcome. But imagine doing it without Him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's just, I can't. So, if you're interested in coming into our camp this year, it's July 24th through 28th, you're in middle school going into 6th grade through high school age. If you're interested in being a part of this, go to our website, WSFC.org, WSFC.org, and there's a link right on there to sign up for camp. And, we won't accept, whatever we need to do to get you to camp, we want to get you to camp. So reach out if you need help. If you have questions, like, reach out, comment on this podcast. You can email myself. It's also on the website, WSFC.org. We want to make it possible for you to be at camp, you and your friends, and have that kind of life transforming season, summer camp or whatever. So,
for sure.
Sweet.
July 24th through July 28th.
Yep. You can also, if you have questions, show up Sunday night youth group.
Yep.
Every Sunday night, 7 o'clock here at West Salem Foursquare Church. And We'd love to see you there.
Yeah. Come to our morning services at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. as well.
West Salem Foursquare Church.
Love you guys. Bye.
Where?